everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today we have got a topic about using AI for faster alert and incident resolution. Today our guest is Juhi Duseja from Atlassian, and she will show you some news from this area. This is the next part in our JSM Summer Expedition series. Previously, we talked about incident management. We had also a session about playbooks. And today it's time for using Atlassian Intelligence for alert and incident resolution. I see that more and more people are slowly joining us. This session is being recorded and it will be published on my YouTube channel today. Also, you will receive tomorrow email with link to recordings and any other additional materials which can be helpful about this topic. So if you need to skip some part, don't worry, it will be recording, so you can come back to this topic after our session. So I think that Juhi, you can start. The stage is yours, so you can share your screen.
Yes. Thank you everyone, first of all, for joining. I hope all of y'all have, or most of y'all have attended the previous series where we go over JSM, incident management, playbook, all the features that help you take charge of alerts and incidents. And now we want to step up the way we manage operations and leverage AI. So my presentation is focused both on the in-product AI features as well as the agentic features that we have to help you assist, debug, resolve, and even prevent faster. On that note, we could jump straight into the presentation, which has a lot of visuals for you to know what happens in the product. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, we see your presentation and we see your slides.
Great. So I give you, as I set the context, we'll be talking about AIOps, which is Atlassian Intelligence features in operations for Jira Service Management that help you in your IT operations, right? I hope most of you guys know what IT operation means, but if some of you do not know, maybe I will just lay what do we mean by operations. Now, after you build software and it's deployed and it's available for your customers, there's operation team, which is behind the scene working as backbone for every organization to just ensure all systems are up and running and there is no downtime. They are the team in charge to catch any catastrophic fails and to be always available, right? Now, the challenges that these teams have is today these teams are flooded with a lot of alerts that come in. There are too many alerts because there are so many monitoring systems in place, right, to ensure constant availability, which a lot of information leads to overwhelming number of alerts which the on-call responder needs to cater to, right? Then there are manual workflows. Usually no team works in silos, so you have distributed teams and distributed architecture of service. Therefore, one service failing could impact the other service, and the collaboration between the team could often lead to manual triaging, slower responses, and in fact, shift changes between different on calls and different teams lead to manual overhead in resolving the faster. And lastly, as I said, there is siloed tooling. Different teams in the same organization could be using different technology, different processes, different collaboration means, right? So it just adds on to more amount of work for resolving an incident and bouncing back to the system health, right? Now, manually performing everything doesn't really work at scale, and that is why we are trying to leverage AI. Today, we know by Forrester studies that to identify root cause of an incident, it typically could take 3 to 7 days. Almost 7 full-time engineers are involved to resolving a full incident. So there's an incident swarming team, and 48% lack trust in, say, the solutions that are available in the market. This is how the market looks like. It is very labor and time intensive, right? So that's why we feel in the new age of AI, we can truly revolutionize and empower users to minimize impact of outages and bounce back faster, right? So the way we do this is we use IT ops and we improve it by event correlation, anomaly detection, and even determining the casualty that you have. So with this, you get new capabilities. With AI, something that a human couldn't do was to process large amount of data in a very short amount of time and to detect anomalies. Now, by using agents and AI, for something that has happened before, you can take faster action. A human need not do all steps, but AI and agent can together do the first level of response, right? And lastly, there is better collaboration because AI helps you draft the right communication, send it to the right team, get updated, summarize, all of which we'll see, right? So JSM is your bridge between the development and the business team, where, especially if you see between the dev and IT, where your model operation sits. Now, before we get into the features, I want to tell you how our entire suite of AI features have been divided. One set of features are in the detect stream, which help you detect an incident even before it has happened, right? This will reduce mean time to detect for your incidents and save business dollars. This is usually based on alerts so that before an incident happens, using the monitoring alerts, we detect what is the problem. The next step is resolving. Say some incident has happened, reported by customer or by an internal employee, we help you resolve faster, which impacts MPTR. And lastly, after an incident has happened, has been resolved, we want you to prevent the same incident from occurring later. So therefore, there is a reduction in outages based on insights and learnings that you've got, right? Now, this is a typical software development cycle where somebody writes code, deploys a change, approval, the code is pushed on prod, then there's the whole monitoring side of receiving alerts, triaging, then there's an incident. I'll just show how with AI we change it. Now, when you have your alerting in place, which is a traditional way of connecting to different APM tools that send you alert, our JSM modernizes it by using AI that groups alert which are similar or related into one problem group so that you don't have to solve all of it together. So the first feature that we have is alert grouping. The second we would have is suggesting the right responder. Triaging the alert to the right team is often a problem. So by AI, we get the context of alert and your system to suggest the right responder. Whenever you want to create an incident out of alert, why should it be manual? Why do you need to spend a lot of time filling in the right details, adding priority, adding information? In this case, we've introduced Smart Incident Create that bridges the gap between alerting and incident. In the incident story, which is all the resolved story, for resolving an incident, first we give you the right recommended resources. It could be Confluence Doc, it could be Google Docs, it could be past PIRs or related incidents. Then we help you find the right subject matter expert for this incident. If you are using, say, Slack channel to collaborate, we help you generate summary, help you get information faster, right? Lastly, on the prevent side, we have PIR generation automatically based on your incident plus Slack conversation history. Something that would have taken you a couple of days, if not hours, is brought down to a few, um, a smaller number of iterations and lesser time. Now we have a very simple approach that we will leverage AI, but there will always be human in the loop so that the on-call agent gets the complete power to use the AI insights and publish what they feel is right. Because it's AI, we promise that it is built for trust. We have tenanted models. Your data serves your experience. We follow the Atlassian AI guidelines, which are applicable across all products, so that you know that we are using our data in the right sense. And also, there's explainability, which means any recommendation, any suggestion, or any action that we ask you to take, We promise to give you the right references and attribute to the source so that you know how is the AI recommending you to take some action. Building trust. Now I will jump into the product walkthrough so that you know across detect, resolve, and prevent, how can you use the features, right? So I will start with a fictitious story. For example, tonight at 2 a.m., I get a lot of these alerts that the checkout is failing or the service is crashing. And I wake up at this with these many messages on my mobile phone because I'm getting paged on the Jira mobile app. And suddenly I jump onto the web to find out what the real issue is, right? So this is how the web list looks like. Now I will go to the AI view, hoping that AI will help me. Now, if you see from the previous view, now I just get one entity where AI is showing me a count of 56, which means it has grouped a lot of these entities into one single entity, right? Now, these are the other groups which are coming in, and few are just singular, but few are in the count of 56, 12, 30. So I already see, even before I start working, AI has started doing its job in the background and it has grouped alerts. And now we'll get into one of these groups. Now here you can see AI is giving me full context of the alert, right? It has a description, it has the count of alerts, priority. It's also telling me why it's grouped, right? Now I can get a quick glance of all the alerts that are coming in here. Now it's also recommending me some responders who worked on past similar alerts in the past. If I want to check the history of similar alerts, say a week ago or a month ago, that also is very possible in this single pane view. So that I don't have to reinvent the wheel, but I get the context, right? Now, if I want to create an incident, I also get AI assisted because here, if you see, AI is suggesting the right summary, the right description, and the right priority. Instead of manually filling all this, AI is helping you recognize all the relevant information, and I just need to be in charge of accepting and changing. And that's how simple creating an incident is. That is all that we were doing in the detect phase, most powerfully from alert grouping, recommending responders, and helping you create incidents faster. Now we move to the second leg of things when things have escalated. Incident is very costly to business and very pressure intensive for everybody involved to resolve it faster, right? So we try and aim to help make this process efficient for you. And the first thing that we do is by recommending you a full history of the context. Here we give you the summary, the likely root cause. We rightly also recommend you some right actions. One, basis the context of this incident and past similar incidents. We tell you if this is likely a major incident or not, right? Also, we tell you any past responders who have resolved a similar incident in this space before, right? So this context panel really empowers you to take the right first step for the first person that you could reach out to. Now, the next thing that we have is related resources, right? Once you know what is a likely root cause or responder, we give you related resources that come from Confluence, incidents, or even if you've connected through Rovo connectors to Google Drive, the Google Drive links that are related to an incident that is active. This also helps you start working on the incident much faster rather than spending a lot of time asking around in the office or in your Slack channel groups about the resolution step. Now we have Ops Guide, which is our agent, where you get a more interactive experience of asking a lot of questions and asking for assistance. Now we also try and give you some basic prompts and basic suggestions that will help you get kickstarted instead of you thinking of what needs to be done. Now here I'm asking, show me people who can help with this incident. And here it will recommend you the folks either who authored, who worked in the past incident. And the amazing part is we have the right attribution and source, as I had called out, right? So you do not know these are, you know why these names are coming up. And the most powerful way to resolve things, as I had said, was reduce manual steps, but use automation with agent to take care of the work that you need to do, right? So here you can see we have ways where you can use automation plus Rovo to take an action, right? Like here we have an incident issue is created, use Rovo to determine the appropriate priority and update the issue. Or when the issue is marked major, identify experts via Rovo and update the assignment, right? So a lot of communication, triaging can be done with automation and agent. Now here you can see that this is a rule that we've created where we are using in the flow that whenever the incident is marked major, I am using my ops guide agent. My ops guide is a Rovo agent, which is out of the box built for IT ops issues. And here I'm giving it additional task of finding the right person to solve the incident, extract the user IDs, and in fact get them added to the issue if I want, right? Yes. So it's very simple that I can on this rule. Also, here you can see that Ops Guide not only works in JSM, you can leverage Ops Guide in Slack, where you can have an automation rule that uses Rovo agent to say generate a summary every 3 hours for your stakeholders, right? For your leadership that is interested, you can just ask your guide to generate a summary based on incident comments based on technical channels that conversation and send a response. Now for resolution, we know a lot is done with multiple folks coming together and a lot of activity happens in Slack channels. Imagine a new person joining the Slack channel for this incident 871, where a lot of conversation has happened, right? There's no time to give debriefing and to bring anybody up to speed. That is where AI comes into picture. By just one simple command, which is summarize incident, you can get summary of everything that was discussed in the Slack channel, as well as the context of incident ticket. Now, this is when I joined the channel, and you can see it is giving me a brief summary, what is the affected service, responder, all the relevant information that will help me get started. Now, all this previously, we've seen all the features here we believe will help you resolve the incident, which is related resources, the incident context of root cause, recommended responders. My favorite being using agent plus automation workflows to take action on your incident, adding comments, adding Slack channel summary, and a bunch of Slack channel features that will help you get context and move faster, right? Now that you've worked a lot on the incident and have reached to a resolution phase, we as a team want the incident to never happen again. And that is where your prevent features come in. Yes, the first feature being you would want, often we've seen after an incident is resolved, teams want a PIR to be generated. But because you are already exhausted after the incident, you would rather want to take a break than jump on the high intensive task. And that's why it takes a lot of time to get the PIR ready and get it approved. That's where AI comes into picture to remove the manual overhead. And just by a single command of create timeline, you can create an incident timeline PIR that gets added. Right? So here you will see an incident timeline was created based on the Slack conversation history, and you can select and deselect the important items that you would want to be added to the incident. Right? So this entire incident timeline was created by the user and has been added to the incident. Here you can see there's a timeline entry from Slack. Great. Now, what if I want to create, this was about adding the Slack conversation timeline, but what about the end post-incident report that is more consumable, that has often the summary, root cause, mitigation steps, best steps taken, right? You would want a structured document for leadership consumption. That's also where AI comes into picture. Like you can see in Ops Guide, I can ask my Ops Guide, which is my agent assisting me, to create a post-incident report for this particular incident. And it amazingly combines your Slack conversation as well as incident comment to generate a detailed PIR report. Right? And this gives you a first slate and maybe you can work on it. Now in the next prompts, you can see it will also tell you, would you want to create a Confluence page of it rather than switching between tabs and copy pasting all this information from here itself? You can create a Confluence page or create a PIR issue in JSM. And here if you see, it has created a PIR Confluence document. And again, humans have the complete power to tune or accept what PIR has been created. Right? Now, there are a bunch of other features that are coming in, which will help you take your incident resolution and prevention game better. The biggest one being helping you do RCA, which is say finding the related change or the feature flag of the change that has happened, right? So here you can see, I would want to do a deeper RCA on the feature. So I'm asking details about the feature flag change on the particular affected service. And it's giving me all the recent changes that happened, right? This is the entire detail. Now, this is where I would like to bring everything together and to give you a bird's eye view of what all we discussed. On the detect side, I had highlighted three things. One is alert grouping. Instead of looking alerts individually and solving each problem to its own, we group all these alerts which are related so that you have fewer meaningful problems to work on. Then you have insights on alerts, which is the most relevant responder or past occurrence of this alert that will help you resolve faster. Lastly, the bridge between alert to incident is fixed by the smart incident creation. Right? Now, when we talk about resolve, in resolution, we saw four main things. One was suggesting the right resources. Next is a bunch of features that our agent, which is the ops guide, can help you offer. On the Slack side, primarily, there was Slack summary that any new joinee or existing joinee can leverage via command, and also timeline generation. And lastly, there is root cause analysis that you can find out. And now in Prevent, we had the smart PIR generation, both on Confluence or PIR as an issue type. All this ties our AIOps features together, everything from detect, resolve, and prevent that will help you save time in terms of reduction in mean time to detect or resolve. And the whole Uber goal is your resolution time going down. If you are interested, there are a bunch of beta programs that we have and you can sign up using these QR codes. On that note, I would say that we've gone through the presentation and we should open the floor for questions. And if folks are interested in some of the parts, I could in fact show you some live in-product demos because we have time. And instead of presentation, we could see on my working instance how things look like. But yes, I think this is all that we had in terms of a feature offering.
Thank you. I see that Melissa asked about sharing the QR codes again. So if you can, Juhi, share your screen. So it was QR code to report and also to sign up for beta program. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I would be dropping my email ID in the chat, and I would love if any of you would want to know more, would want to know about the next beta programs or have any feedback. Would love to stay connected and build together.
We have got also a question from Alistair. Can you kindly elaborate on alert grouping? This is what you presented at the beginning.
Yes, yes. So I will just go here. Now, if you see on the screen, all alerts are say one, but imagine a lot of these alerts are getting caused due to the same issue, or they're just very similar, right? You're set up in a monitoring tool which is more chatty or noisy, so to say. So for the same issue, you get alerted from the same tool or multiple tools, right? Which increases the volume of alerts that you have to deal with. With alert grouping, we check for similarity in the title, tags, or description, and we group that alert into a single group for you, right? And I'll just play this, and in this you will see that we've reduced the individual alerts and grouped it. And the logic today for doing this is, you can see there is tags, there's a summary. So from the tags, summary, and the description of the alerts, we find out if these are pointing towards the same problem, and we group it together, which reduces, say, your cognitive overload of the large volume of data, and it also reduces context switching, you having to switch between different alerts, often which are same. So yes, this is what we do today, but if you have anything specific, happy to answer more on it.
Bill is asking, how does it determine the tag?
These tags are usually configured by the user using alert policies that you have configured. So these tags are basis how you have set up your integration or alert policy. And our system leverages these tags to find between two alerts if they are similar, if they're related. So this tags is human determined. On top of it, for two alerts, we check if they are similar or related. Did that answer your question?
I hope yes. Also, it's a comment from Bill confirmed that yes, it answered for him his question. And also we have got comment from Liz that this is smart and really clean solution. It's reminiscence of grouping tabs in browsers. Can we say that tags is similar like labels for issues?
It is similar to labels as issues, yes. But today, we don't identify the tag using AI. We expect our users to have tagged their alerts. They can do this via when they set up the integration or an alert policy. And once the alert comes with tags, we build a model on top of it.
Okay, thanks. And we have got another question from Charles. If there is major issue that generates multiple alerts from multiple systems like DB, VMS applications, will it assume they are related due to the timestamps if their description is specific to that system?
Okay. Maybe I would want to understand the question correctly. So, Charles, is it correct that you are saying their description is specific to the system, which means that description could have a common service or a common node? Is that correct when you're saying it's specific to system? Because I believe your alert titles will come different for DB, VM application, but there will be some common entity. Is the understanding correct here? Could the person speak on call, because maybe it would be much easier if they could.
Okay, we have got comment from Charles. For example, alert from DB is related to databases, while at the same time you receive an alert from a different monitoring system.
Okay, great. So, Charles, today the way we are looking at similar alerts, which means they should have similar title. So today your example tells me there's one deep, say for example, there's a database alert and there is a high CPU utilization alert. These are two different alerts, right? but they happen. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by Liz comment because I thought it's a follow-up. So yes, you have a database alert and you have a CPU utilization alert. Now these two alerts will look different to AI and it will not group it together. If you have 10 databases alert in the same time window on the same service, it will group it together. This is the current state today. But our second iteration of model is going beyond similarity. It is going on correlation, which means you could have database issue, you could have memory utilization issue, and you could have server crashing issue. All three issues of different types coming from different sources, but on one service. In that case, AI will be able to group it for you because it is on the same service, right? So this is a feature that is coming up in the future. You would likely see it in the next releases of model iteration. But in the true state that we are today, it will check for the same title, which is all CPU utilizations will be grouped, all database issues will be grouped together. I hope it answered your question, Charles.
Okay, Charles confirmed, so thank you. And also we have got question from Liz. Your email user ID would also be apparent, wouldn't it?
I'm guessing Liz would want my email ID. That's correct, right? I will share my.
Okay, Liz also add for clarity, Atlassian makes you log in with a credential.
Liz, I didn't get the context. Is it in context of a feature that you're saying, particular feature where you saw your user ID being used? That's completely okay.
Okay, so we are waiting for Liz, and in the meantime, if you have any other questions, we have got still time, so you can ask, so put in the Q&A section or on the chat, so we'll be happy to answer.
In the meanwhile, I'm pasting my email ID in the chat. Okay. Would be really happy to connect with you folks in case you want to see product demos, have any questions, requirements. If you're already using something and would want to shape it basis your needs, as you know, AI is very personalized and every firm has a different need. Would love to hear from you. So yes, please save it. Okay, I've shared it in the Q&A section. Maybe I should share it in the chat.
Yeah, I also put it on the chat. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Liz, did you figure out the question or like did it get cleared or would you want me to help you? Melissa wants to know. So I will share let me see if I can share the image. No, I can't. So I'll just again share my screen and you guys can take a image screenshot of this. You can unmute Liz.
I can give Liz presenter mode, so she will be able to join us. So she will be able to unmute herself.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm also a mess in the QA and all over the place. I'm back. Okay. So my question is, wouldn't you be able to have some sort of identifier that is like part of your Atlassian ID? Because I know like if I log into my Atlassian like ID or my email that's associated with my account, and then I execute like a forge app, like a robo agent that's a customized agent, it is going to track my email. And that's kind of a point of contention with JSM anonymous customer portal users and stuff. So whenever somebody's logging in from multiple instances, like I'm gonna mess up the name. Sorry, Bubba. See who it was. I think it was nope, it wasn't Alistair. Whoever asked that question about those multiple points coming in from databases, from Zendesk, from all those kind of things, wouldn't your Atlassian email have to follow that? So you would be able to ID which organization it came from?
So in grouping, we do not really consider your user IDs in any sense. We usually look at the alert context, right? Which is the title, tags, description. Okay. And we usually see that alerts are mapped to a team, not so much to a user, right? Because there will be an on call schedule, a roster, and a particular team would be taking charge of it. So we ensure that the alerts that are getting grouped are within the same team, because imagine you have two teams and both of them are getting network is critical because it's a big organization, right?
Sure.
Two network criticals just cannot be grouped because if they have different owner teams, right? And there's a reason why the alert had an owner team categorically set different, right? And that is why we create separate groups. However, as I said, there's something that is called correlation of alerts. What if both of you are getting network is critical and there are two different teams, A and B? But what if there is a common service that they're sharing? Say, suppose email, right? And say email is down, and that is why two different services leveraging email are getting affected. So, in that case, any upstream or downstream service connected to email should be grouped because it's one problem that needs to be solved. So in the next leg of algorithm, we will be seeing the affected CMDB or affected service that connects. So it's understanding your service graph and grouping it together. But at the moment, it's not user specific because we realize it's more to do with alerting than, per user getting tracked.
Sure. No, that makes total sense. Now that you talked it out, that absolutely equals. And I really love that style, and this is why, is because it pits your most successful subject matter expert on the issue. That has always been a point of contention when it comes in that just cattle call. If you've ever been in the help desk, it's like every single issue in the world, and you're like, I do not know Linux. I'm sorry. What do you want from me? And you now have people that if the issue's this big, they can handle it. If it's this big, they can handle it, and you're not burying your juniors. But no, that does make sense. And I wanted to just check on one more thing with analytics. So because your user is going to impact the company or impact the system. If I'm a systems admin who's in charge of a big enterprise like Salesforce, because Salesforce is always buggy, or Oracle, anything with the T-SQL, the SOQLs, and all those that are a pain in the butt to put together. I want to know which one's bugging today. So
Hmm.
are you aggregating the data also with those groups for admins for your internal and external customers?
I think that's an amazing request. At the moment, we don't give you. So imagine this is more of a grouping which is happening during on call. We do not give
Sure.
you an analytic perspective. Say, give you like in 1 month, these were the most chatty systems. These were the systems getting very repeated alerts. But that is the plan. One,
Okay.
the persona that we were helping was the on call because he is more active and live and he wants to get done. The persona which wants to see things slightly later is probably the team admin or probably the team of on calls coming together, say after a month, and we've all done our shifts. And how do we reduce the overload, right? So that's the next set of persona at later stage. It's more peacetime where okay, you've done, you're not in a firefighting mode. You're more in a relaxed mode so that the next time the fire isn't that hot. right? So
Right.
that's a very good feedback, and we should connect because we'd love to hear how would you want. I would love to take your email ID, and for folks who would want, I could reach out to you guys if you could drop an email, and would love to understand how a feature like this could help you in your use case, right? Because AI is pretty new. It really depends how a user wants to use AI. There's no one size fits all, right? And the market is evolving each day. So we would love to hear from our customers what to build next.
And thank you so much. Thank you for answering my questions. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, so
Yes.
thank you, Liz. Do you have any more questions? No. Okay, so thank you. So I will change the mode for Liz. Thank you. Do we have any more questions? Let's check. Yes, from Charles. If alerts don't have similar titles or descriptions, will there be the option to group manually for machine learning purposes? So next time it groups alerts.
Okay, so maybe I will go through the question. It's where is this question because maybe I lost half of it. Or could you repeat the question, Kate, again?
Yes, of course. One sec. If alerts don't have similar titles or descriptions, will there be the option to group manually for machine learning purposes? So next time it groups alerts. So the AI will know if in the future that okay, it should be grouped.
That is amazing call out. We are today, as I'm talking to you, my team is working on something called customization panel, where we would want users to decide which alerts they feel should have been grouped together, right? So today my model is say heavily dependent on similarity of titles and tags. But what if you know that even if these two titles are not same, they should have been grouped together, right? So we are introducing the customization panel. In fact, Charles, I would love for you to share your email ID and I'll connect to you to give you maybe an early sign up for the beta program for this customization where you can try how manual grouping works. And in fact, in this process, see if your use case is getting served by the feature that we are building. So if you could drop in your email ID, I'll connect with you.
Okay, thank
Did
you.
Charles share his email ID?
Not yet. Charles answered. Okay, great. So as you he said, you can drop your email here, so you will be in touch with Yuhi. Do we have any more questions? We have got still time, so if you have anything else on your mind, please put it on the chat. Okay, also Melissa dropped her email address, so if you can, you noted it.
I've noted it. Thank
Okay,
you, Melissa.
and also Charles also
Thank
left
you.
the email. Okay, I'm very happy that we have got so many active people here. So a lot of questions. This topic, as Yuhi said, it's relatively new. Still, new things are coming. So I think that such sessions can help all of us to learn more about use cases and also about future for such features. Okay, so I don't see more questions on the chat. Also, no more questions in the Q&A. So I think that we can finish for today. I would like to thank you, Juhi, for presentation and a lot of answers and questions. I would like to say thank you also to all participants that you joined us today. As I said, this session will be published, so you will be able to come back. Also, contact Juhi if you have any more questions about this topic. And also, you will receive email with materials, with recording to this session tomorrow. So thank you, Liz. Thank you that you also joined today's session. And as I said, this is the next. Session in this series. We have got few more, so also let's follow our community-led classes chapter with new events. The next event will be definitely about AI and Rovo. We have got a session with Kate Clavet. Also, we have got a session about playbooks. This is the continuation, so you can also join to this session. We will have also session about Assets Data Manager. So it's not about AI, but about Jira Service Management and assets and what we can achieve more with this also relatively new feature. Our guest will be Sylvia Davis from Atlassian. So I think that it can be also very interesting session for you. So now I will also share links, registration links to the session, and you will receive also these links in the email. So I hope that these sessions will be also very insightful for you. So this is it. Yeah, and this is it what we have for now. Okay, so I don't see more questions on the chat, also on the Q&A. So I think that we can finish for today. Once again, thank you very much, and we'll see in the next sessions.
Thank you.